welcome to this Diwali special on ET Now. I am Anisha Jain. Well, joining me today for this special conversation on our series Wizards of Wealth is Vikas Khemani. Vikas, hi, thanks so much for making time and speaking with us today, and happy Diwali.
Thank you very much for having me. Happy Diwali to you and all of you viewers.
You know, since we're talking about wealth, let me begin by asking you a basic question. What does wealth mean to you?
I think wealth is, of course, it's important to everybody, but I think wealth, in my opinion, gives you a right to choose your own sort of control on your own time, what you want to do. It gives you that freedom, right? Once your basics are sort of met.
Taken care of.
And after a point in time, I think it's just a number. Of course, everybody likes to have as much as it is, but one should then it moves from you have wealth. How do you grow it? Like a trusteeship, right? And that's the important thing. So I would always say that wealth must be treated with a lot of seriousness, respect, and a lot of effort. We have to all grow it, whether we need it or not, but we have to sort of grow it responsibly.
Yeah, grow it responsibly. But is there a concept like golden age of wealth creation? And I ask you that because, of course, one part believes that there's 20 to 30 year when you should start, because that is where compounding kicks in if you keep it for the long term. Warren Buffett, of course, made his money when he was post 60. Is there any golden age of making money?
No, I think you really can't say golden age of making money. I think the real key source lies in compounding. So longevity is the most important thing. The power of compounding is least understood. Even if you earn 15% for a longer period of time, let's say 30 years versus earning 20% for 10 years and less, then I think even the longevity is most important. So Warren Buffett, as we all know, that large part of over 90% of his wealth has come post he turned 60, right? So the key challenge that most people, especially in today's time and age of social media and youth, want to grow very fast, grow rich very fast. Unfortunately, that creates the problem. So there is no shortcut to create wealth, no shortcut to compound fast. Of course, there will always be periods when you get quick returns and then consolidation. That happens in every. But there is no shortcut to success, is my belief.
No shortcut to success, but as you said, there are these bouts of great returns, and that is what we have been bestowed with over the last couple of years. And that recency bias kicks in that, markets can only go up. And even a 5% correction makes you feel like, oh my God, what's happening in the market? How do you deal with that volatility? And remind for our viewers that the 5 to 10% correction is really normal, because the long-term average still continues to be 12 to 14% return.
Absolutely. I think, and you put it very well, that, we have had such a great run. And in a 5% correction, people are saying, oh, markets are crashed. Now, I don't know what is crash. So people have forgotten, what a correction looks like in last 4 years specifically. Go back to, many corrections in the past where we have seen 30% correction. Fortunately, India is in a transformation phase, and, both fundamentally as well as, from a liquidity perspective. So hence, the corrections are very short-lived and far and few. But there will be periods when there will be deep corrections over next sort of 5-10 years. And the journey is a phenomenal journey. I believe that best of India is yet to come. We have a lot more money to make over next 10, 15, 20 years. I would say 80-90% of India's wealth is yet to be made. And as long as you stay disciplined to your philosophy, your mantra, I think there's a great opportunity to create wealth.
Okay, you said stick to your mantras, but are there any mantras that you have managed to kind of chalk out for yourself in your years of working in the industry, that these are the rule books that I stick by?
Absolutely, and every investor has their own ways. I mean, I have always kind of looked for. So one big focus is never bet on a crook. Take the management quality very seriously. Because that is where the biggest risk comes from. So we have kind of created our own sort of. I look at 3 things in any management: competence, integrity, and drive. You need combination of these 3 things to create supernormal return or supernormal business. So if you are competent, no integrity, I will not make money. If you are competent, integrity, no drive, company will not grow. If you have drive, integrity, but no competence, I will not somebody will eat you alive. So I think you need combination of these 3 things. So that is very, very important. Secondly, I think I always focus on rate of change.
Okay.
I believe that world is neither utopia nor dystopia. Are companies, sectors, opportunities which are is there a rate of change which is improving? Is it getting better than yesterday? That is where, so like, one of the big success for us, which has been manufacturing. We launched our manufacturing fund in October 2020, 6 months after pandemic, when nobody was talking about it.
Investment.
Right? But because we could pick that trend up, because we didn't focus that India is best in manufacturing or not. We are saying it is getting better and the rate of change is positive and accelerating. Today, that fund has delivered 47% CAGR for 4 years, right, and continues to do well. So I believe one single biggest learning of my career of 25, 30 years of investing is always focus on rate of change. And third, most important is, do what suits your personality. Don't go out of FOMO, which is today's time and age very, very, very important, especially, with social media around. Everybody is trying to chase some, fad. And that is where the biggest risk comes, in my opinion. There is no substitute to common sense investing. People think that, investing is very complex. I don't understand them, so let me follow the crowd.
First one that you talked about, that you bet on promoters which have competence, integrity and drive. Name 3 or 4 professionals or entrepreneurs or promoters like that which you think are best to bet on right now, which, stand tall on those metrics of yours.
No, so look, I will not sort of avoid from giving sort of any recommendations, but like one of the holding for us has been ICICI Bank for last 5 years, right? We could see rate of change and we could see these 3 combination in the management, new management which took over, right? Look at what last 5 years, it has created 5x return, right? So, I mean, and there are many kind of, trust me, in India, we have a great quality of entrepreneurs and, management teams which have created superior returns and continues to do that. I mean, what we have seen in case of Tata Group, Chandrasekhar sir has kind of delivered very well. What Reliant does in case of Murugappa Group, we have seen massive wealth creation cycle. So, I mean, you get amazed with the kind of depth and width of management quality we see in this country. It makes me super bullish and optimist. You have a, you are spoiled for choices.
I just wanted to take a step back and talk to you about portfolio allocation, because that also is very important. This year, we've already seen a synchronized move in the asset class. I mean, gold is going up, you have equity markets in India doing well, you have the US equity markets doing well, bond are at an inflection point with the kind of rate cuts which are, happening. Within all of that, do you think over the next 12 to 18 months, there's a bit of a churn which is needed in the portfolio allocation?
See, I think again, I'm not an expert how the gold is, and but I do believe that remaining in and again, allocation is a function of your objective. It's a lot of function. What is your IPS? What is your age profile? What is your risk appetite? All those things. It's not really one common thing, right? But I mean, I can only say your allocation should be a lot more driven by that. I am not a big believer. I mean, I would believe that Indian equities will outperform global equities for sure.
Okay.
Even by the way, in dollar terms, India has done well in last 20 years ahead of US markets. So we think that US markets are doing well, but India has done well even in dollar terms, right? So I think India will continue to remain the best wealth creating market for next 10, 15 years, according to me. Within that, one can look at how much allocation to be done, but that should be mainly guided by the policy statement or IPS of the investor. I think we might see US economy slowing down. We might see US, one of the biggest worry point from a US equity point of view I have, US as a percentage of the world market cap is right now about 61-62%. It is a huge skew, and within that, if you see, there are few companies which are controlling that large part of the skew. So that, from a US equity standpoint of view, in my opinion, worries me. This kind of skew cannot continue for a very, very long period of time. But and economy is slowing down, and bit of a so my point is that what is not working elsewhere is working for India, and hence this is the place to be invested, in my opinion.
This is the right place to be in India if you're here and you can invest. Probably you're part of that Amrit Kal journey. But Vikas, before we let you go, talk to me about one of those jackpot ideas of sorts for the investors, which will work out very well in summer 2081.
So I think so. I mean, I would stay away from giving a name, but
Yeah,
I would
sure.
rather say look at
theme, whatever you prefer.
So CDMO and CRO is a very, very big theme. It is what IT was in mid 90s. Because of the Biosecure Act in US, a lot of CDMO activity was in China, which has to move away from there to somewhere else. And India is one of the biggest contender. So, and it is just very early days of that. According to me, we will have many 10, 15, 20 billion dollar companies getting created in that space over next 5, 10, 15 years. And once it comes, it is sticky and it stays for a very long period of time. So it's a very big theme. And if I were to probably extend to one more theme, I think pharma and healthcare, again, I would believe that will do very well in general, which is more focused, on because this is where India is going to spend more, and this is in some sense, I would say non-discretionary spend. Incrementally, all of us as we get prosper, we would spend money on healthcare. And that I think, so pharma and healthcare is another segment which I think is likely to do well in next 12 months and even from longer perspective.
Okay, and before we let you go, give us an insight into your life and one of your favorite memories of Diwali, or one thing that you do every year which has become a Diwali ritual of sorts.
So I think we from a celebration perspective, always the entire family get together, all our extended, my brother, parents, all of us celebrate Diwali together, and taking a one big common, entire family, that is like.
And then you can set it year by year.
Year by year. So that's a
nice.
very favorite thing I do. And secondly, every Diwali I buy one stock which I would never sell, kind of thing. So, and small quantity or whatever quantity, but I think I do in Murat trading.
Do I ask you which stock are you likely to buy this year?
I have no idea. I have yet to think, but...
No worries, we'll let you go on that note. Thanks so much, Vikas, for making time and speaking with us today.
Thank you. Pleasure is entirely mine.
With that, it's a wrap on this conversation. Stay tuned to ET Now, and happy Diwali to everyone.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.